Let's talk.
All right, let's have the news hound this morning, Bopu.
All right, let's start with football stories. The Super Falcons of the Falconets, the Nigerian Falconets beat France by a goal to nil. That yesterday morning or early this morning. The only goal was scored late into the second half of the match by Falconets Flourish Sebastian. Coach Danjuma had picked team captain Tosin Lemay and 20 others to wear Nigeria's colours at the 19-day event. All group phase and quarter-final matches will be played at the Alejandro Morera Soto, which is a hybrid of natural and synthetic grass called stitch grass. The semi-final and final and the third place matches will be played at the Estadio Nacional.
Giant Killers Heartland Football Club of Owerri will square up with Niger Tornadoes of Minna in the first semi-final of this year's AITEO Cup competition. The match will hold at the Lekan Salami Stadium, Ibadan, on Sunday, the 14th of August. Tornadoes, who had bumped Dreams FC, Eimba FC and Green Beret on their way, walked over Lobby Stars of Makudi, who failed to show up for the quarter-final clash in Jos on Wednesday. Heartland, conquerors of Enugu Rangers on a penalty shootout, and who also edged Dakada Football Club on penalties, saw the back of Katsina United at the Kwara Sports Stadium in Ilorin after another penalty shootout. The Owerri Landlords won by 4-1 in the shootout after both teams ended it goalless in regulation time. Kogi United, who walked over Kano Pillars in Makodi, were programmed to meet the winner of the clash between Wiki Tourist and Nasarawa United. Both the Solid Miners and the Tourists failed to turn up in Kaduna. On that score, Kogi United are through to next week's grand finale to play the winner of the semi-final tie between Niger Tornadoes and Heartland Football Club. The grand finale of this year's AITEO Cup competition for both the men and women's events will hold at the Samson's Siasia Stadium, Yenagoa, on Wednesday, the 17th of August.
Well, still with football stories, the crisis rocking the Nigerian Football Federation at all fronts are still prevalent as the current board, led by Amaju Pinnick, has sent a letter to the Federation of International Football Association seeking for more time before the elections of the body will take place. In a letter to the World Football Governing Body on Wednesday, dated August 9 and signed by the General Secretary Mohamed Sanusi, the NFF, led by Pinnick, asked the World Body to allow it stage the forthcoming election in January and not next month in September. The plan is to read the FIFA response at the AGM expected to take place next week.
Glory Ogbonna, a defender of the Super Falcons of Nigeria, has signed a one-year contract with the Turkish Women League champions ALG Spor Kulűbü. Ogbonna disclosed this in a telephone interview on Thursday in Calabar. The former Edo Queens player said the desire to play in the Champions League was what motivated her to sign for the Turkish champions. Ogbonna says she turned down an offer to renew her contract with her last club, Santa Teresa in Spain, and other offers before her decision to put pen to paper for the Turkish club.
From the continent, Morocco have fired coach Vahid Halilhodzic just 3 months before the country competes in the World Cup finals in Qatar. The announcement by the Moroccan Football Federation on Thursday ends months of speculation over the fate of the Franco-Bosnian coach, who has now suffered the extraordinary feat of being fired 3 times by national teams after they qualified for World Cup finals. Halilhovic's possible departure had been the cause of much speculation since Morocco's tepid showing at the Africa Cup of Nations finals in January, and in particular his fallout with star midfielder Hakim Ziyech. Last year, Halilovic, 269, accused the Chelsea player of feigning injury to miss out of mid-year friendly matches and left him out of the World Cup qualifying campaign and the Cup of Nations finals. But Federation President Fauzi Lekja has been pressing for a return of the Dutch-born midfielder amid a public outcry at his absence, putting him at odds with the coach who was appointed to the Morocco job 3 years ago.
Manchester United's share price saw its biggest daily rise in 9 years as Michael Knighton announced a takeover bid. The cost jumped a whopping 12% after former director Knighton announced plans for a hostile takeover of the club. The 70-year-old served on United's board between 1989 and 1992 and is plotting a sensational return to Old Trafford. Knighton had initially tried to buy the Red Devils for £20 million, but eventually accepted a position on the board as the deadline to prove his funds loomed. And 1.8 million shares were traded on Wednesday after he stated his intention to buy.
From Spain, Gerard Piqué is willing to take another huge pay cut to help Barcelona register their 5 summer signings as La Liga won't let him play for free. Castra Barca will open their season at home to Rayo Vallecano on Saturday without 7 stars unless they slash their wage bill. And defensive legend Piqué, 35, is doing all he can as the Spanish Giants battle to avert a farcical situation. Barcelona have defied their money problems by spending big. In came £47 million Leeds winger Rafinha, £42.5 million Bayern Munich striker Robert Lewandowski, and Chelsea target Jules Koundé from Sevilla for £55 million. Stamford Bridge centre-back Andres Christensen and AC Milan midfielder Frank Kessié arrived for free.
In tennis, Serena Williams broke down in tears as she completed the first stage of her farewell tour. The American superstar, 41 next month, confirmed in a fascinating interview with Vogue that she is planning to retire imminently. Williams revealed the countdown has begun as she prepares to evolve away from tennis. And in her first tournament since the announcement, she was handily beaten 6-2, 6-4 by Belinda Bencic in the second round of the Canadian Open 1000 event. Serena is expected to play at the Western and Southern Open in Cincinnati next, and then finish with the US Open before hanging up her racket.
From the NBA, they will honor the legacy of Boston Celtics legend Bill Russell by retiring his number 6 jersey for all 30 teams, the league and the National Basketball Association Players Union announced yesterday. Now, Russell becomes the first player in NBA history to have his jersey retired league-wise. Additionally, all NBA players will wear a commemorative patch on the right shoulder of their jerseys during the 2022-23 season, and every court will display a shamrock-shaped logo with Russell's number 6 on the sideline near the scorer's table. The NBA previously recognized Russell's contributions when he was named the Finals MVP award after him in 2009.
And rounding off the news hound on a lighter note, Shakira's ex-boyfriend, Gerard Piqué, has been secretly dating a PR student for months, even though he only parted ways with the singer in June this year, as per recent reports. The Barcelona Football Club player has been seeing a 23-year-old PR student, Clara Chia Marti, who he reportedly met while she was working for his production company Cosmos. An insider close to Marty told The Sun that the lovebirds have been keeping their romance low-key, but people around them know about their relationship. Gerard and Clara have been seeing each other for months. She's a student who also works for him in his office, organizing events, and this